Low prices, crazy discounts, shop like a billionaire. Temu burst onto the scene with a splashy debut during the Super Bowl, capturing attention and quickly became a viral sensation online. Influencers and YouTubers have embraced the platform, showcasing and endorsing its products at unbelievably low prices. But when it comes down to it, shopping on Temu isn't really the best idea. And if you know why and still do it, it really says a lot. But hey, if you're not sure what's going on, this video is here to fill you in and help you understand why buying from Temu might not actually be the smartest move. If you've been scrolling on the internet lately, you've probably seen their ads popping up everywhere. This is Temu, a new Chinese e-commerce company that's taking the world of e-commerce, despite launching in only 2022. Why are items from Temu so cheap? Is it safe to make purchases on Temu? And could Temu really be the next big player in the e-commerce game? First of all, what is Temu and where did it come from? Temu is owned by PDD Holdings and is the international version of Pinduoduo, the original Chinese e-commerce company known for bulk purchasing agricultural goods. Temu is made for Western audiences and adheres to different regulations. The crazy part is, shopping on Temu is similar to playing a slot machine in casinos. Buyers can get great deals by spinning roulette wheels in their shopping cart with timers nudging them to make quick purchase decisions. Purchases can even be split into multiple transactions later, regardless of how inexpensive the item may seem. They also have features of feeding virtual fish to earn credits for future purposes. And it's crazy how items are totally cheap on Temu and they're still giving away credits. Using Temu is a lot like buying in a thrift store and playing in a casino all at once, and surprisingly, it works. Many people tend to enjoy this approach and end up buying on the platform. Its gamification of shopping is making it easier, more accessible, and more fun than ever before. In the year 2023, Temu even hit more than $6 billion in sales worldwide. That's huge. And during their Black Friday sale, they'd even seen an 85% spike in traffic, and their earnings nearly tripled in just a year. But here's the thing, PDD Holdings isn't your typical big shot company. They're run on a small team of about 13,000 employees and don't have nearly as much in terms of physical assets. And yes, 13,000 employees is too small for a $6 billion a year company. If you look at the number of Amazon's employees, just compare it with the number of Amazon's employees. It is somehow fishy, isn't it? And in terms of transparency, that's not their strong suit. Their financial details are non-transparent, making it tough to entangle what's the catch with Temu. Now, why is Temu well known today? It's because they spent billions of dollars of advertising on Google, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and even those famous Super Bowl commercials. Or maybe it's through word of mouth, because everything on Temu is so very cheap. The app hit millions of global downloads each month, and in June 2024 alone, it reached over 50 million downloads worldwide. This makes it a serious player in global retail and is set to become even bigger if this trend continues. Temu has expanded to more than 50 countries and has become the most downloaded shopping app in the world. In 2023, it became the most downloaded app in the US, attracting over 50 million monthly users. It also ranked as the second most visited shopping app in the US, Amazon being ranked first. Even though Amazon still ranks first of the day, Temu has Amazon FBA sellers worried. There are about 9.7 million Amazon sellers worldwide, and around 1.9 million are actively selling on Amazon. Actually, FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon, and 86% of the sellers on Amazon use Amazon FBA to sell their own unique product on the platform. This is how most of the third-party sellers make their living, and that's why the significant emergence of Temu and its unbelievable increase in market share makes them work. Additionally, for the years, Amazon FBA has been the best opportunity to make money online, and these sellers are now being undercut by Temu. Well, Temu attracts customers with a variety of techniques, but at its core, it revolves around two main methods. One, everything is unbelievably cheap. Their motto is shop like a billionaire, because obviously the cost isn't a concern when shopping on Temu. This approach encourages customers to buy a lot of items in their app. And two, Temu employs a gamification system to make the shopping experience more dynamic. Imagine the experience similar to being like a Vegas casino, rather than a typical retail store. That's the vibe on Temu. They use flash deals, special lightning events, and gamified features to create an interactive shopping experience. This not only boosts user engagement significantly, but also gathers intensive customer data through loyalty programs, progress tracking, and a social sharing system that encourages interaction among shoppers. While no one can deny that from an engagement standpoint, Temu is undeniably genius. They're now shipping approximately 1 million packages daily in the United States alone, and that's achieved in less than 2 years of operation. This success indicates the significant penetration into the American retail market, but beyond these positive aspects lies a darker side. Temu is actually a highly problematic application with numerous negative side effects which are not typically known by the many. We'll dive deeper into this towards the end of this video, but make sure to stick around for the important insights before making Temu purchases or an account on the platform. But before that, please subscribe to this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. If you're new here, I'm Connor, and I've been in the e-commerce game for 8 years now. With Temu gaining immense popularity lately, I'm here to uncover its hidden truths and whether it truly lives up to the hype. But first, let's break down how Temu works. Many people buying on Temu do not know where their money goes once it's spent. Temu isn't a platform typical for the average dropshipper or retailer. The thing is, suppliers and manufacturers excel in product creation but often struggle in distribution and marketing. And that's where Temu comes in. Temu makes it easier for suppliers and actual manufacturers to distribute and market their products by selling directly from factories, bypassing the traditional factory, warehouse, storefront route. Temu offers a diverse range of products across many different categories. Why does Temu do this, and what do investors really love about their service? Well, Temu technically solves a big problem for manufacturers, which is predicting how much or how many products people will buy. Manufacturers want to make just enough products because too many means items sitting around in storage costs that are sitting around unsold. Too few means there's sales that are being left on the table. Temu helps by connecting them directly to consumers, which makes it easier for manufacturers to produce that customers actually want. Imagine it from the perspective of selling toys for the upcoming Christmas season. Traditionally, companies like Amazon have to predict whether specific toys will be popular during that season and estimate how many people will buy them in advance. This helps them minimize storage time and gets toys to buyers quickly. But Temu changes its approach completely. By removing the middlemen, Temu allows the toy manufacturer to list all the toys on their website without actually having them to be made in advance. They can directly see which designs sell better than others, cutting costs on storage, handling, and retailer marketing. This direct connection to consumers helps manufacturers react quickly to demand and optimize their sales strategy without using the usual guesswork. The catch with Temu is that since they don't purchase their products in advance, it takes longer for a Temu package to reach your door. It usually takes up to 15 business days compared to Amazon Prime's 2-day delivery. This longer waiting time is because each product is produced and delivered from scratch. Also, this approach turns each product into its own market survey. Temu uses the survey to offer a wide range of products, and the diversity helps them gauge consumer interest. They put everything on their website, see what sells, and decide what to discontinue. The issue with this waiting game is Temu products often disappoint customers in quality. Customers frequently encounter items that don't match their descriptions, are cheap knockoffs of reputable brands, that lack credibility, or even products that are unsafe for use. Temu's fast growth is controversially linked to the surge of cheap Chinese goods in Western markets. This is partially due to import laws called de minimis thresholds. If a package value falls below this threshold, it doesn't need to be declared, taxed, or regulated. Customs prioritize inspecting larger shipments for items like drugs or weapons instead of every small package. Each country sets its own threshold of value. In the United States, the world's largest consumer market, the threshold is $800, a significant high amount compared to global standards. This threshold was actually raised from $200 in 2016 to reduce costs for business and boost international trade. The National Foreign Trade Council, which represents companies like Amazon, eBay, and FedEx, supported this increase to facilitate more packages entering the US. However, critics also saw the benefits in the context of Temu's pricing, as nearly any purchase from them would likely fall below that $800 threshold. Since Temu ships directly from manufacturers rather than through wholesalers who handle bulk shipments, their orders typically fall into the de minimis threshold in the US. This has become increasingly significant since the surge in online shopping during the pandemic and the highest inflation in decades. De minimis imports now reach over 2 million per day in America, with an estimated 600,000 of those from Temu and Shein alone. Shein is another e-commerce platform from China. These packages arrive individually and without labels, posing challenges for enforcement of rules and regulations and data tracking. These three main issues that China possibly takes advantage of with the use of Temu are evident. 1. The chemicals used to make plastic trinkets and cheap clothes are driving up global oil demand. China is already a major producer of these chemicals like polyester and P-xylene, and has ramped up production significantly. This shift has led to a surplus, allowing for the potential production of billions of additional t-shirts each year. In fact, according to the International Energy Agency, global oil demand, excluding petrochemicals, would be lower today than in 2019. The relocation of chemical production from Europe to Japan to China has played a role in keeping oil prices elevated. The second issue is that Temu possibly supports slavery. In China's Xinjiang region, nearly 2 million Uyghur Muslims are held in camps where they endure abuse and forced labor. This is part of Chinese effort to assimilate them into Chinese society. Many countries, including the US, see this as genocide and have laws to block imports made with forced Uyghur labor. Temu denies using slave labor, attributing its low prices to efficient supply chain. However, an independent audit found at least 10 Temu products linked to this abuse. Abduction, detention, and forced labor are just the tip of the iceberg. However, the critical point is that hundreds of thousands in these re-education camps are subject to forced labor. This labor heavily impacts industries such as cotton, electronics, footwear, garments, hair products, textiles, and toys. Comparing these industries to Temu's offerings reveals that many of its products, especially the popular ones, are directly tied to these sectors, particularly cotton, electronics, textiles, and toys. Thirdly, Temu's practices are seen as unfair. The de minimis law creates a cost gap between the direct-to-consumer Chinese sellers like Temu and larger companies using traditional shipping. In 2022, branded fashion retailers paid millions in tariffs, totaling over $111 billion across the US. Meanwhile, Temu and Shein pay no tariffs due to the de minimis threshold. This legal advantage unfairly disadvantages American firms against cheaper Chinese competitors in their own market, which many consider unfair. Now the question is it safe to make purchases on Temu? As I mentioned earlier, Temu is owned by PDD Holdings, which also owns another app called Pinduoduo. Pinduoduo has faced issues in the past when its app was removed from the Google Play Store due to malware concerns. Versions of the app outside of the Play Store reportedly exploited zero vulnerabilities to spy on users. Interestingly, Temu's current practices bear a striking resemblance to events from about 2 decades ago, noticeably in the furniture industry. Back then, China imported US timber to produce goods at a significantly lower cost, which were then shipped back to the United States. This led to domestic manufacturers facing bankruptcy as they couldn't compete with the cheap imports, causing significant disruptions in the market. I can see why Temu might initially appeal. Prices are low, and it's fun to shop, especially when inflation is high. However, once you understand the full picture, it might sound moralizing, but if you know a company primarily sources goods from a region with reported forced labor, if those popular products align with those industries, and if they use import policies that avoid customs scrutiny, how can you justify supporting them? Ultimately, it boils down to a cost-benefit analysis. Do you prioritize cheaper goods, even if they may be produced under conditions of forced labor in camps? That's the trade-off. Temu may offer steep discounts by shouldering losses on every package to gain market share quickly, but these discounts come at a cost. That cost isn't just financial, it means compromising on the freedom and autonomy of others. Perhaps Temu doesn't necessarily need to be banned, it could potentially fade away on its own. American customers generally don't like waiting 3 weeks for deliveries, and they become increasingly dissatisfied with Temu's product quality. eBay, which is a close American counterpart to Temu, has reported no significant impact from Temu's market entry. Well, Temu might currently be hit by offering freebies and deals to customers, but most probably, customers will only make a single purchase and then return to using Amazon or other established platforms. Investors may currently favor Temu, but history shows that many once prominent Chinese companies have faded over time. Wish.com, for example, offered a very similar service to Temu and faced a similar fate, losing over 99% of its value from its peak in 2021. Consumers may be intrigued by the randomness and low prices of Temu purchases, but they are unlikely to permanently replace quality with quantity. While I'm not here to judge and criticize, I'm here to show you facts so you can make your decision and be informed making a purchase with Temu. There may come a time when Temu succumbs to either political or consumer pressure. However, within the broader Chinese e-commerce landscape, the initiatives are powerful enough to ensure that even if another Temu fades, another similar platform may rise in its place, and then eventually get to the silver lining of how cheap, low-quality products may pull people away at first, but the quality eventually speaks for itself. In fact, the number of customers who return for a second purchase on Temu is only around 30%. On the other hand, Amazon Prime has a much higher retention rate of around 90%. Also, Amazon still makes up just slightly less than 50% of the US market and expected to grow even bigger by 2025, meaning there's actually plenty of room for those entrepreneurs to keep succeeding on Amazon and for new ones to join Amazon FBA and succeed as well. If you're interested in learning about Amazon FBA, which is a continued year after year growing opportunity, I have a link down in my bio to a free course you can watch to learn all the reins to get started. E-commerce continues to expand annually. While Temu is capturing a significant market share, it doesn't necessarily mean that Amazon is losing ground. The overall e-commerce market is expanding, allowing both Temu and Amazon to grow concurrently. Amazon sales have consistently increased year after year, with the year 2023 marking a milestone of $570 billion in sales. This upward trajectory is expected to continue years and years from now, reflecting the ongoing growth and evolution of Amazon despite the rise of Chinese platforms. This is because Amazon ensures quality over quantity, and it's true. Temu presents itself as a fun, gamified platform app with appealingly low prices. However, beneath its surface lies a complex system that involves damaging foreign economies through predatory practices and legal loopholes, often intertwined with the possible human rights violations. Each purchase choice we can make has far-reaching consequences. By staying informed and conscious of these issues, we can contribute a more ethical and responsible consumer landscape. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that like button and smash the subscribe button for more content like this. See you in the next video.